Hey guys, welcome back to Camping with Ed, and it's Tuesday Talks. And this Tuesday, we're in the studio. And maybe not so much the studio as much as it's my back shed. But it's pouring raining outside right now. I got a little wet coming down. It's pouring sideways now. I'll show you some video here in a few. But today, it's not going to stop us from doing Tuesday Talks. Today would be a great time. I want to talk about tents. So I have a couple new tents that I want to talk about and show you guys. And we also have a cigar review. Of course, it's not a Camping with Ed video unless we have some sort of cigar. So it's the same line we've had before on the channel, a new cigar. So that's exciting. So stay tuned, and I hope you guys all enjoy, and I hope you guys are all having an amazing week so far. So let's go ahead and cue that music. Welcome back to the studio. So before we jump into our conversation about tents, let's have a step two. So today's step two is a Diet Coke from McDonald's. I'm not sure how many of you out there like the Coke or Diet Coke from McDonald's, but I feel it's far superior to any other fast food soda. It's perfect. It's just a great soda. So earlier in the intro, I talked about wanting to have a conversation about tents. My current tent is an Ozark Trail 10-person easy pop-up tent. I like it, don't get me wrong. It's a great tent, but it's a lot for what I need if I'm doing a solo adventure. Typically, when I set up the tent, I have a table in there, I have a chair, I have my cot, I have a rug down. It's very much comfort. It's just a larger tent. When I'm doing these solo adventures, I wanted to have a smaller tent that it was easier to put up and take down. So I did have a short that I posted earlier in the week where I went to Ollie's. They had a camping blowout where they purchased a ton of Coleman equipment. So I purchased a new Coleman tent. Here, I'll show it to you. This is it here. It's called the Coleman Sundome. As you can see there in the bottom left or right, it depends on how you're looking at it, it's a 4-person tent. It's a 9-foot by 7-foot. So it's 9 feet high, 7 feet in width. Let me show you the back too. They say it's an easy setup. I'll be the judge of that when I actually do start to set it up. But I think it's going to be a perfect tent for when I have a solo adventure. They say it's a 4-person tent, but I think we all know that it does not fit 4 people. 2 people at max. So if it's a 4-person tent, it's really meant for 2. Because you might have an air mattress or a sleeping pad or a cot. Again, a 4-person tent's really only meant for 2 individuals. So that'll be really nice to have. And I'm hoping, Coleman in the past used to be, when you heard the name Coleman, that had some quality attached to that name. I have watched a couple of the YouTubers that I watched that they're not big fans of Coleman anymore. There's some newer lines out there, but again, for that price, it was $39.99. Okay, I didn't show you that. But you can see it right there on the price tag. And I had a 15% off coupon, so it was like $34 total, which is a steal for a nice camping tent, if it's got some quality to it. The other tent that I wanted to talk about today was a tent that was given to me by my neighbor. Now, my neighbor used to be an avid camper. He still camps, but not as much anymore. And he purchased this tent. He never used it, never set it up, and he gave it to me. Now, this is a unique tent. This requires another piece of camping equipment. This is it's an Ozark Trail. It's called a 4-person Connect tent. So I'll show you here. I want to make sure I can get it in the video there. So that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like set up there. It's a 4-person tent. The center height, it says it's only 5 foot 6 inches. So you really can't stand up in there. Well, let me take that back. I cannot stand up in there. I'm 6'3", so definitely won't work. But the way this tent works is it connects to a 10 foot by 10 foot canopy. So I do need to purchase the canopy, which I think would be a great addition because this is a nice setup for when it's raining. You can have your tent connected to the canopy. If it's raining, that's fine. You could stand under the canopy, sit under the canopy, and still have your tent there. So it's kind of like having an open porch to your tent. So I'm very excited to try that. I did look at some of the prices for the 10 by 10 canopies at Walmart. They were pretty reasonable. So I think that's going to be one of my next purchases, or maybe I'll ask for it for Father's Day. That might be a great Father's Day gift, where if I get a straight, it's got to be a straight-legged 10 by 10 canopy. So I think some of the canopies, the legs come down at a slant. It needs to be a straight leg, or else the tent won't connect to it. So that's pretty cool. So I'm excited to have both of those tents added to my tent arsenal. Before we moved into this new house, I had a few other tents that I did downsize a lot when we moved. I kind of regret that now, but that's neither here nor there. New equipment's coming in, 2 new adventures. I can't wait to try those both out. So let's have a cigar. I'm gonna get the cigar ready. I gotta go grab my cutter. Of course, I forgot my cutter again, and I'll follow back with you guys in a few. Thanks for watching, guys. My cutter, so, and I'm sure you just saw the rain. It is coming down. So today's cigar is another Punch cigar. We've had many different Punch cigars here on the channel. Today's called the People's Champ, made by Punch. Here's the cigar. It's not a bigger cigar, it's a smaller gauge. Let's take it out of the wrapper. I'll show it to you. There it is there. The People's Champ. What's this, the Rock of cigars? So, there it is. I do have my cutter, the straight edge. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the end. Remember, you're just cutting the cap of the cigar. So right there from the top. And you can see that was a perfect cut. Perfect straight cut. And we have my torch lighter, my infamous torch lighter. Now this cigar is not a very large gauge cigar. It's a smaller cigar, but let me tell you, it packs a punch. It's got a very peppery taste. The minute it hits your tip of your tongue, you could taste that pepper. It's a stronger cigar. But again, it's made by Punch. Punch makes a great line. We have a few other ones that I have in my humidor that I'm excited to talk about. But this one's called the People's Champ. It came in a pack of 5. There was a deal that my local cigar store had. And I guess the theme of today's Tuesday Talks is deals. We got a deal on that tent. We got the other tent given to us by our neighbor. And we got a deal on the cigars. Can't beat that. All about it. So, again, if any of you guys have tried this Connect tent, let me know. Because I'm curious to see if anyone's ever used this and how well does it work. You know, throw it down in the comments. Or if you have a Coleman tent, like the Sun Dome, they had a couple other versions there. They had one that was smaller, it was a 2-person tent. And then they had one that was bigger, I think it was an 8-person tent, which I'm not looking for a bigger tent right now. I was looking for something smaller, and that 4-person tent hopefully will be perfect for what we need for our camping adventures. The good thing is there's nothing in this back shed but some gardening equipment. So I have the windows open. I got the other front doors open. It's airing out so I can smoke the cigar and not get wet. So that's pretty cool. I just want to say, I hope you all had an amazing Memorial Day weekend. I hope you all stayed safe. It's Tuesday. We're almost done. Tuesday kind of feels like a Monday when there's a Monday holiday, but it's a short week. It's a short work week for some, maybe not for all. But I hope you all have an amazing rest of the week. And I'm hoping this weekend to use that new tent if the weather cooperates, and I will have a camping adventure with it.